Welcome to the bird sanctuary woods. Not quite such a sanctuary for animals though, because I can see over there a thing where people sit up on a high bench by a tree so they can shout to hunters about view when the animals come through. So maybe not so good for pheasants and partridges and things. Getting my government mandated exercise. And in tribute to an awesome guy who I think is incredible, Mr. Ed Gamester, I'm doing a little bit of a wine wander. And it has to be a wine wander because I cannot finish a whole bottle like him. I would be on the floor like Eddie Izzard when he went to visit the Champagne region of France, going, I don't know who I am anymore. So what I have is I have 2 hip flasks of red wine. Trust me, it's red wine. The only wine that counts. And this will be a video in many parts, I'm sure. It's just so damn windy today. It's amazing. It's like the wind's just not ending. And I'd completely forgotten that you could have like warm wind, warm sun. It's been so bitingly cold but sunny for so long. Such a wet winter. Completely forgot that you can be actually quite warm in the wind. Anyway, it's getting quieter wind-wise because we're heading into the woods. Can you hear the birds? Plenty of them about. Alright then, see you at the first hurdle. Here we are. Walking down the road in the woods. There was a little bird that skipped across the path. Oh, there's one flying across the path. It's lovely here. And so much quieter. The wind's dropped. I can actually hear the birds singing now. Maybe you can too. There's a little bush, actually quite a big bush, on the route to where I cycle to work. And every spring, what's the plural of spring? Springs? Every springs, when I go past that bush, it is lousy with little birds. What my stepdad calls LBJs, little brown jobs. All the tits in the world. They sit in that bush and they absolutely yell at each other. Oh my God. Yeah, this is my bush, not your bush. Go on, get out of it. They're actually quite formidable when they're in a group. The whole bush vibrates with them. Okay. See you in a bit. Cheers. So this is the sort of heroic bit of the path, if you like. It looks like an actual street. It's well maintained. It's really nice. But soon we'll be coming to the moorland bit through the gate. And after the gate, it is just like a moorland. It's like walking on the edge of moorland, like on the edge of the New Forest. Very close cropped grass because of animals eating at it, and the occasional bush, and helpful signposts with little yellow arrows on saying, go this way. Okay. Through the kissing gate. Whoever thought of calling this thing a kissing gate? And on. Allons-y. See what I mean? It is just like the edge of the New Forest. And here we see nature in all its bloody glory. Somebody has definitely come a cropper. Cheers. Now this tree, I really like him. Maybe if I stand back a bit you can see, but he's got branches keeling over to the left of the screen. He looks like he's reaching over. It's the kind of tree that you stand underneath if you're cool, like a highwayman or a hero or something. You lean against him and stare into the middle distance looking cool. So let's try this. Am I looking cool? Or am I just looking like a sun worshipper? New Forest is a beautiful place. I spent about 10 years all told in Southampton. Went to New Forest often. Of course, there's not much forest left. It's the irony of its name, and every year it has a controlled burn or even an uncontrolled burn to keep the bracken down. But it's a beautiful place for all that. It has that kind of slightly tamed moorland quality, so if you like getting out in nature but you're not so sure about whether or not you could get all the trekking gear on and then survive trekking across nature, New Forest is like a nice halfway house. Unlike Dartmoor. Dartmoor is hardcore. Dartmoor is a bit of a bitch. You see, this is why I came to live in Oxford, because although it's landlocked as hell, and I'm a coastal girl, it's also just incredibly beautiful. And as I understand it, they want to run a highway through here. They want to slam it all away, build another bloody big road. They can fuck off. This is the kind of stuff that you don't get through Van Bam, thank you man. This is the kind of stuff that you get through centuries of growth and real life. Cheers. And this is why I say it's like moorland. Check out the gorse. Full bloom. And a windy path through it. I'll let you know if I come across a band of men, hobbits and dwarves, but has that feeling about it, certainly. I mean, look at it. It's ridiculously picturesque. Hey, did you hear that? That prrr, the woodpecker. The woodpeckers are out, man. Stand on the right side of a woodpecker. They know shit. They have secret societies. You do not want to piss off a woodpecker. Okay, just to let you know, this is going to be some gratuitous tree porn. Look at that baby. Isn't she gorgeous? It's got this wonderful equal spread of branches too. Just wow. Whereas this tree was obviously once used by fairies and or imps, but due to fluctuations in the tree housing market and the crash of the imp banks, unfortunately they couldn't pay their way, and so it's actually been shut up. It's a shame actually, it's a nice property. But yeah, until the imp and fairy markets recover, I'm afraid that's going to remain shut up and unused. Shame. I don't know quite what happened here, but it looks like two trees started growing too close together, and then one of them people came along and like, nope, we're chopping that off here and there, and the other tree was like, oh yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna grow over my brother because you bastards cut him off in his prime. Well, you made your point, dude. You got your twin strapped to your arse. Man, life of trees is rough. So, we're now entering the sort of more alpine region of the walk. Firs and gorse. Still amazingly beautiful. And if I just come over here, if I get this right, but no, I can't really see it yet, but to my left there is sort of a cut, almost like a little valley in the middle of all this, through which a stream doth wander and wender. So we will see that eventually. Oh, hang on. Nope, my bad. Just that'll top up. Eye fly in the eye. There's no one else around. You know, that's the weird thing. When they started saying you're gonna have to self-isolate, you're gonna have to do things on your own, all the extroverts are like, no! And all the introverts are like, this is my life. And some of you might be surprised to learn that I am actually introverted. It's my natural inclination. I mean, look at me. I'm talking to a phone on my own in the middle of a wood. I suppose what we call an extroverted introvert. An introvert who has learned how to play the game and be bouncy on the outside in public environments, such as work, such as when out with groups of friends. But on their own, they actually prefer being on their own. So, apart from the added wine in the camera, this is pretty much what I do all the time. Okay, so this part of the walk gets a little bit confusing because the path suddenly disappears. And I can never properly find it. I think it's down here. It runs by the edge of the marker posts. So there's this open grassy space, and suddenly there's no obvious path anymore. And I've been this way before, and I know that this is the sort of end of the forest where the people who are taking care of this place, the National Trust or whatever it is, Forest Trust, whatever it is, this is where they kind of put all their gardening bits and pieces. So bits that they've trimmed, broken wood, bits of fencing, and the path kind of goes around it. Yeah, this looks promising. Path goes around that, but it feels like you're going like back entrance of somewhere, you know, like backstage, and you think you shouldn't be seeing it, so you wonder, is this the right route? But yeah, it's the right route, and looky this. Backstage area we have a little hideout, some description. It's quite nice actually. I don't know how waterproof it would be. Probably not very waterproof at all. A lot of holes in there. But it's obviously somebody's trying to create some kind of lean-to. What they've done is they've taken this two trees that are very close together and they just turned it into a little shack. Cute. Okay, moving on. This is what I mean. So the path picks up here. Hey, and we're going down into that valley I spoke of. Hopefully. So here's the edge of the fence. And you think, oh, should I be going this close to the fence? I meant to be on a nature walk, and a fence isn't all that natural. But bear with, because if you look over it, I don't know if you can see on this camera, but there's the dip of the valley. There's the stream and a little bridge that we'll be going to. So, up and along this path. There's the rest of the moorland bit. We went round the edge of that rather than going through the middle. Get the most exercise, most number of steps. And it's another kissing gate. Damn, with these kissing gates. I mean, seriously, in the current COVID climate, is kissing really safe? Anyway, down the steps. Way. I only had half of a hip flask of wine and I'm already way. Go. Down the steps. Aye. And this is when it starts to get a little marshy. because the bottom of the valley, there's a stream. Not a full-size river, not a little peddly stream. I mean, enough to create, you know, a bit of a flow. I mean, look at that, isn't that pretty? Little bridge. If we climb onto the bridge and look this way, that's what I mean by marsh. That kind of black patch under the trees, that's marshy. And there's the stream. Gorgeous. Up the other side. Couple of guys walking the other direction. Very kindly stepped to one side and walked across the top by the stream. Holly, my birth plant. Maintaining our 2 meters distance. There we go. It kind of flattens out like toothpaste on paper when you try and pick it up on a camera, but that's definitely a boggy a bit down there, especially when it's wet and rainy. So, up the path towards the other side of Middle Earth. So in many ways I'm like my dad. There is a link, trust me. In many ways I'm like my dad, because this is why I'm thinking this, because of Middle Earth. I remember when he was talking about how when he was a medical student in London, he discovered this book by this dude called Tolkien, and he read it, and it was slightly fantastical, but basically an old-fashioned quest, and he really liked it, and he was really into it, and it was his special thing. And then later on, everyone starts getting really excited about it. I mean, granted, it's about 40, 50 years later, but even so, he feels like his special thing's been kind of trampled over, been made into mainstream. He doesn't like that. I think both of us, if you tell us, oh, this is the thing to do, this is the thing you got to see, this is the thing you got to do, this is the thing you got to think, both of us are like, nah. We will almost say no, almost because you told us to say yes, rather than because we particularly don't want to do something or don't think it's a good idea. We are the template for reverse psychology. So yeah, Middle Earth bit there. Just pausing for a second to admire this view. And this view. Can you hear the birds? Well, they're still singing. Of course they are. It's their job. Shouting at each other, shouting at the world. Hello, I'm here, I'm gorgeous, and I wish to mate. Don't listen to him, he's absolute minger. Etc, etc, etc. Hello. Right, back on. Whew. One and only steep bit. Luckily, fortification is at hand. Hey, there we go. So, woo, another kissing gate, oh boy. But back that way to where we started, or this way to who knows where. Allons-y. We might just go around the outside and end up back in the woods by a different route, but who knows? It's an adventure. Oh, speaking of lean-tos, There's a lean-to, entrance pointing away from us. These particular trees, they have very weird growth patterns. So this one, yeah, the lean is leaning to against this thing that sort of lifts up, goes along the ground a bit, and then lifts up again. More like a sleeping to rather than a lean to, kind of like a shelter for sleeping. Oh, this way. This way's going to be much more up and down. There might be more puffing and panting. There might be more cursing and swearing. But my camera holding hand is currently getting pins and needles, so I'm going to pause for the time being. Okay, it's still got pins and needles, but it's a bit better, and I just wanted to share with you. Look at that. It's so pretty. Honestly. Right. Enamored of the day. Enamored of the day and the place where we played when we were young and stupid. Oh, blue. I don't think it's proper bluebells. Can you see them? They're in the middle. And some here by the path. Not quite bluebell wood. Very pretty though. Oh, I know where this goes out to, this path. The sea of green with these trees sticking up. Oh, lean-to didn't quite make it. I know where this path goes. It goes out in the field. Oh. Remembrance stone. Let's have a little look. Hello Brooks from 61 to 2015. Oh dear. Well, rest easy, Emma. Cheers to your soul. Back on the path. And up we go, up we go, up we go, here we go, here's the path that goes into the field. So instead of going back out through the woods at the top of the woods where I started, instead you come out into the field, it runs on the edge of the woods. Come see, come ça. And that's the start of the woods that we went in at. That's the other way. I've been that way before, but it's too far to go today. So, back on the end of the field. So yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Think about me and my dad, but also about humans in general. So you tell people suddenly that they can't go out. Really, really, really want to go out. All of us psychology idiots, really. Basically kids in adult bodies. Yeah, kids, kid bodies, baby bodies. But I do wonder if some families who would never really think about looking up from their screens, who at the moment are going, oh God, no, gotta get out, and actually going out and getting some exercise, or whose kids are being told to watch what's his face who does the PE sessions on the telly on the internet, so they can keep fit at home. Never know. This nation might end up better for all this. But also, the one thing that really struck my nursing colleagues and myself is when people were told they were going to have to wash their hands more frequently, and there were howls of distress. How do I wash my hands? When do I wash my hands? Which left us all thinking, what the hell were you doing when you should have been washing your hands anyway? Ugh. So, all being well, this will have been a a whiny wander. I don't know if all the little videos will string together or what, but this may never even see the light of day because I may never work out how to actually stick them together, because that's another little problem. But either way, getting windy out here again. We're out of the woods. But either way, cheers. Get out and do your exercise and wash your hands and eat sensibly, not too much while you're stuck indoors.